Hi, welcome to AFTV. It's now time for the player ratings. As you can see, we're clearly not outside in the freezing cold, but that's not because by choice. The battery and the memory card run out. And yeah, Robbie actually was like, I'm too cold, so we're coming back to the studio. He's couldn't handle the cold. All right.
I've been out in the cold since this morning, mate. You know what I mean? I can handle the cold. I just couldn't handle the game.
Yeah, fair. and yeah, fair. Let's be real and honest about obviously these ratings, which we'll get into. Obviously, I got to watch a lot of things back through replays in the studio and whatnot. So I'll let you, obviously, it's your player ratings, but I'll give context where I can. David Raya was involved today, so didn't have much to do.
He made a great save towards the end of the game.
Yeah, that was deflected and made a great save down to his bottom corner.
He didn't save any penalties. And I heard some people giving him a bit of grief about, you can get nowhere near. Penalties are not easy to save, man.
He was diving early, though. Very early, which was odd.
Yeah. Listen, maybe it's a listen, penalties are not easy to save. All their penalties were really good, you know. So were ours, apart from the one we missed. Raya today. Listen, we're on the end of a defeat, so I'll give him a 6. But I don't think he was terrible.
Okay. I think people I think the penalties. Hopefully you get to you'll see them back at some point. He was going extremely early, which I think baffled a lot of people. Could be low, it should be low, I'd say, but 6 for you.
Bro, it's not his fault that we got penalties and stuff like that. It's just penalties are hard to save in penalty shootouts. Not always easy.
Okay, let's go to right back.
There was only 1 penalty saved.
True. Well, 2 in the game, but obviously in the penalty shootout.
In the penalty shootout, yeah.
Only 1, obviously. Let's go to during Timber.
Quiet game for Timber, I thought. You know what I mean? And I'm getting very worried with our fullbacks. They never overlapped. Neither of them ever overlapped. It's just like they're playing fullback, but they're just in the centre all the time. And I want to see our fullbacks overlapping. And he came off injured as well. I'm hoping that injury's not bad, but it's always a worry. But I'll probably give him a 5 today.
5 for during Timber, like you said, injury as well. Obviously, wish him a speedy recovery. It's not looking good. Players are just dropping like flies at the moment. Going into the centre-back pairing, which I'm hoping they can last for the rest of the season, because the sod's law, that might be what comes next. But William Saliba today, Robbie.
It was all right. Did what he had to do.
Rasmus didn't get much change.
Yeah, again, I mean, in his games, they weren't trouble. Even Xerxes, he came on, he held the ball. Flex was going on like this guy was brilliant when he came on. He held the ball up like twice. Literally every time he got the ball to hold it up, they got the ball off him. I give those 2 a 6.
Both of them, yeah?
Yeah, both of him and Gabriel, I'll probably give a 6. They weren't as devastating on set pieces as normal.
Gabriel scored the goal?
And Gabriel did score the goal. He did catch a bit of a deflection, but at least he had a shot. So I give those 2 a 6.
6, but okay, even Gabriel was a 6k favour. Yep, okay. Let's go to left back, Mars Lewis Skelly.
He was all right. I mean, got a bit caught out with a goal. So did Gabriel, by the way. You know, I'll talk about it. But that was him who sort of slipped over and stuff like that.
He should have headed the ball out. He tried to head it back into play.
And United were very clinical with the finish on it. But again, Mars Lewis Skelly, young kid. Again, I want to see our fullbacks overlapping, getting down the pitch. That's my big criticism at the moment. But maybe that's an instruction.
Yeah, to go inside. On his performance.
But yeah, 6.
6. I think Marzo, I think he was better out of the back 4 today. But okay, Marzo says 6, and you're giving the centre back pairing 6, and during Timber you say 6 as well.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone's 6 in the back line there.
No, during Timber was a 5.
5. Okay, okay. Let's go into midfield. Jorginho.
Probably a 5. Didn't really do anything, did he? I mean, kept it ticking, kept it moving, but no shots, no assists. I mean, he's the defensive midfielder. Fairly untroubled, isn't it? Because United, let's be real, their tactic was to defend. Yeah. So they didn't really attack a lot. And he's a defensive midfielder. I'll probably give him a 5. 5.
He tried to make some line passes. I did see some, but
quite ineffective really in the game. But then, as a defensive midfielder, wasn't really nobody rampaged past him or nothing like that. He was a much changed midfield. So
5 average view for him. Okay, Mikel Merino.
Probably the same. I mean, what did he do?
Yeah. I think a lot of fans question this. Which
these are the things that people are moaning. Actually, probably a 4. Because he's the more forward of the midfielders, and he didn't really have an impact on the game, did he?
That's a good point.
you're looking for him to have more of an impact on the game. When Declan Rice came on, at least there was a bit more drive and a bit more, someone's carrying the ball, and I didn't see none of that from Mourinho at all. 4.
Okay. Our captain, Martin Odegaard.
It's 4 as well. It's a poor performance I felt by him. He missed the penalty. Again, I thought sometimes just overdoing the elaborate stuff, you know what I mean? When, and then what's happened to his shooting?
Yeah.
What has happened to...
I think you've been quite generous with a lot of these ratings, but go on. But yeah, carry on.
What has happened to his... The reason why I'm being a bit more generous with those guys, because they did create a few things. None of it was put away, but I'd say so. Yeah, 4 for Odegaard. It wasn't a great performance by him at all. Actually, you know what? It's a 3 because he missed that penalty miss. Although, it's hard to diss him because I think he's never missed a penalty for Arsenal before, I don't think.
He hasn't been on form recently at all, though.
That penalty miss is a vital... If he scores that game's done. That probably would have went on to win it by more, but... he missed that penalty. That was a decisive moment of the game, so it's got to be a 3.
Yeah, I think that's fair and justified. And hopefully, listen, he stayed on the pitch after that. It seemed like his ankle injury stayed on after half time, but we got.
I heard people saying, "Oh, why did he take it?" He's a penalty taker. When Saka, even there was a game this season when Saka was even playing, and he took the penalty. Was it West Ham or one of those games?
Yeah,
he's a penalty taker.
Yeah, but I think fans.
And he buried his one in the shootout.
That's true.
Well done for him to stepping up for that. And he stepped up first to take it as well, which was a real captain's move to do. And I liked what he did there, but the decisive one he missed.
Yeah, after missing a penalty, I think he's brave to step up and take the
and took
penalty.
The first one.
Done it well. Okay, let's go to before we give his rating. Obviously, we wish him, both of us, and I'm sure everyone at AFTV, Gabriel Jesus, a speedy recovery. It looks serious. I don't know. We don't know what. I haven't checked what it is. I'm assuming it's his knee. By the way,
stretcher came on straight away,
yeah, and that is a worry. And if it's anything to do with that, that's the season. I mean, I'm not no doctor, but I know what a knee injury.
He's had so many injuries.
Yeah, and that's a big problem right now, considering the position Arsenal are in. But Gabriel Jesus, whilst he was on the pitch, Robbie, today, what did you think?
Didn't do anything, did he?
Sadly,
he was very, very, very ineffective. I felt when he was on the pitch. 4, but I really feel sorry for him. Another injury, just at a time when we need our forward players.
Yeah, someone who needs to step up in that position. Now the options are very limited on that right wing. I mean, Sterling will probably have to play, but we'll get to his rating at some point in this video. Let's go to the opposite wing before I go to the striker, Gabriel Martinelli.
Very poor today, I thought.
What did he?
Didn't. I mean, started the game okay.
Yeah.
Started the game, he's thinking okay, but then after that, he just kept on. There was one time he just ran into the player and just like. Apart from whipping the ball in, cutting in and whipping the ball in, which they dealt with pretty easily because that's what Maguire and De Ligt are good at, how many times did he take his man on? How many times did he use a bit of trickery or skill and go past someone? How many shots did he have? I mean...
Can you say that for any of the wingers? Really?
I know, but he was really disappointed. I mean, he's having a bad time at the moment. He's having a bad... The system that Arsenal are playing at the moment relies on our wingers to create lots and lots of chances and lots of scenarios. I'd say the only thing he did today was win corners. That was it. It's poor by him today. I think that's another 3 as well.
3, okay. So that's 2 3s in the squad so far. So let's end with, out of the 11, starting 11, Kai Havertz.
I don't know if I've ever given anyone a 0.
This could be the day.
This is the day.
For us.
Right. He missed an absolutely sitter. He missed a couple of chances, as a matter of fact, in the game. And he missed his penalty. It was just all round a nightmare performance for him. I'm hearing that he even died for the penalty. I mean, I haven't seen that back. Yeah. But I'm,
He bought the
I've not seen it. A lot of United fans. I mean, listen, I'd have to see it, but forget about the penalty. Whatever, he was poor. It's 2 games in a row in which he's missed big chances. He's the striker at the moment.
Yeah, and he's going to be playing again on Wednesday against Spurs. It's the only option we have.
He's got to get himself together very, very quickly because he's had a couple of horrendous games.
0. Wow, I haven't heard. I don't think. Yeah.
What do I give him for? What did he do?
That is.
I have to judge him off of the big moments.
You have to judge him, as a
easy
striker
chances, miss easy chances, and then he missed his penalty. Yeah. The only one who missed his penalty.
And then,
what can I say?
I listen. My thoughts on Kai Havertz is probably quite well documented, but
the fair problem with him, right, is that he's not a striker. You can see he's like a second striker, what you class as a second striker. You know what I mean? He's a guy who could play on. You could put him out. Yeah. I mean, he's a like utility type player, but he's not a striker, and we're seeing it. He's decent. He's a good player. He's a German international, good player. But he's not a clinical striker.
Top earner.
And we know, I don't care how much he earns. All I care is that when you get those chances, you put them away. Whether you're earning 10 pence or 10 million a week. And he's not a striker. This is where Mikel Arteta is not doing himself any favours. Because he's like trying to stick to this like almost hybrid type. But
so he's a subject because he's not a midfielder in my opinion either. But some would argue
he's a forward player. He's what you call a forward player. He can play anywhere across that front three.
Can he play it well?
But he's not a striker.
Okay. So that's Kai Havertz. That's the ratings for the starting 11. Let's go to some of the subs. Let's go with man. No, listen, you might not be able to rate him, but man, I was shocked to see Kieran Tierney in his.
It's a standard 5.
Yeah.
We need a goal. We're bringing on Kieran Tierney, a guy that we're trying to sell.
Yeah,
that's how desperate.
That shocked me today,
and that's how light we are with attacking players on the bench. I mean, listen, I know there's a lot of injuries. No Jesus, no Saka, no Wanyeri. You know what I mean? But
it's interesting. So you give him a standard 5. It's weird that he didn't opt for Zinchenko, went with Tierney, but. Listen, I think for some fans they might have been happy to see him, but he didn't obviously have much impact as late in the game. And what could he really do? Declan Rice.
I thought when he came on, he did make an impact. He should have scored. I thought that with that header that he had, he headed it kind of straight. He needed to head it down, and it's a goal. But he made an impact when he came on. You could see there was a big difference when he came on. And I think I'd probably give him a 6.
Yeah. Okay. That's more than fair. Thomas Partey.
Didn't think he was great when he came on, man. Like, he kept giving the ball away. He didn't make any impact on the game whatsoever. 4.
Trossard.
I didn't even know. I mean, I know they were wearing these all white kits and you couldn't see the numbers
and the names.
Or names and that. That's as anonymous as he was as well. Him and Havertz, that's the kit they should be wearing because they were invisible.
Ghosts.
Ghosts, invisible. 1.
Wow.
What did he do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's be real.
I'm trying to think if there was any real contribution that we could say.
When you come on as a sub, you're on to try and make an impact.
Yeah, an impact, folks. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's go to Raheem Sterling.
Out of all the players, he did make an impact.
He's okay, yeah.
He started running at players, taking them on. I think it led to the penalty, wasn't it? I think even the goal was created through one of his runs, if I remember rightly. He looks, they started doubling up on him later and he didn't get as much joy. But I actually thought he had a decent game. He had he created a little bit of an impact over on that side. All of a sudden, we were seeing a winger go past players.
Yeah.
I was sitting watching the game with Martin O'Fire and he was going, why have Arsenal not been playing him? It's been a mystery, but probably a 6 for him as well.
Fair. I think that's a very justified rating because it wasn't. If he set the world,
he had a little bit of an impact when he came on. He did.
Okay.
He's doing better than what Jesus did.
Yeah. And a lot of the other wingers, to be fair. So
and he did way more than Martinelli.
Yeah. Right. Let's go to. You'll be judged on this rating. The referee today, because the United fans will say terrible performance. Honestly, and if you're going to keep it,
honestly, not seeing back the penalty. All the United fans, flexing that, telling me it's a horrendous decision.
Yeah, me and James didn't react. We said it wasn't. He
also could have sent off Harry Maguire for pushing down Havertz. Normally, those things you get sent. So when they're moaning about that, I also felt that Lisandro Martinez, if you're on a yellow, he came straight through the back of Odegaard, and he didn't give him. He didn't give him a red. He gave Dalot the red.
was definitely too.
You know, probably give him a 5. The referee. You know, it wasn't great, was he?
Yeah, he wasn't great. Obviously, a lot of fans will be happy that we got the penalty, but
and he allowed the game to be stop-start. I remember when Maguire came off. Maguire must took about a minute and a half to come off, and then they added on 2 minutes injury time. Like him alone took that. I mean, I mean, but that's not why we lost the game. It had nothing to do with the referee.
Of course not. Okay, so let's go to the manager today, Robbie.
Well, listen, it's
It's under pressure right now.
2 defeats in a row, 2 big games. I've got to say, you know, Havertz is his pick. You know,
that's his guy.
Lots of frustration around and a lack of not signing. I mean, if this is what we're relying on, we ain't winning nothing this season. The manager scores very low today for me today. It's not his fault that easy chances are missed. It's not his fault that we missed a penalty. But we've lost the game. 4 out of 10, Arteta.
4 out of 10.
We had enough chances to win that game. He's been let down by the players again. But I do think, you know, there's something missing at the moment in how we're playing.
Okay, 4 out of 10 for Mikel Arteta. And lastly, a lot of fans came on that I spoke with today and complained about the atmosphere. There was a fan that came and said, I've travelled here, I've done 7 games from September, and he said, I can clearly see there's a difference in the atmosphere at the Emirates, or even in London, he actually said, or London teams, but he said at the Emirates, he said, and another fan said, I was trying to get the fans to sing and cheer up, but they just weren't really having it at the moment.
Yeah, listen, it's a freezing cold day. I didn't think either set of fans were, like, for an FA Cup game against Arsenal and Man United, normally that's fever pitch. I didn't think, because United fans, you didn't hear them until they scored the goal.
Yeah.
And then they went quiet again when we scored, and then obviously when they started getting near to the penalty, where they realised they're going to go to a penalty shootout, they got loud again because they survived. I don't think either set of fans, that is a lot sometimes to do with the conditions. It's so freezing cold and that, and then the game weren't the height of excitement, was it? From either team. United parked the bus, Arsenal couldn't break them down. You know what I mean? There wasn't no scintillating football within the game. So I think, listen, it's one of them. I'm not going to criticise the fans too heavily. I'm not. You know what I mean? It's a packed house. Give the fans a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Well, that's it, people. Fans.
Another defeat. I know one thing. On Wednesday, we're going to have to get behind this team. This team needs a lift. I know fans are frustrated. I'm frustrated as well with the last couple of results. I'm frustrated with the lack of signings in this January transfer window. I don't know what they're thinking right now. They could be behind the scenes doing a lot of work, but they need to...
Could that give the fans a lift if they made a signing? Of course,
man. I don't think they're going to make a signing by Wednesday.
They won't be allowed to
but they've got to do something. They've got... Jesus is out now. Saka's out. Those are the 2 players that scored the most goals, I think, up front, or they've been the, you know.
Yeah.
Got to go out there and get. You can't just talk about, it's difficult in January. Because City have just signed a defender and they're signing Mamouche, who we were told is a difficult one to get done, and he's going to City.
Yeah. Liverpool's linked.
Have to do something, man. This is a big moment for Mikel Arteta. Big moment. I feel there's some fans that are on the verge of flipping over and just like turning on him.
100%.
He has to do something. We don't want this season to just last season, as I said earlier, it was like this at the start of the year. If you remember rightly, we went out of the FA Cup. We lost to Fulham.
Yeah, we went to Dubai,
we lost to West Ham. We had a poor Christmas. And then we went out of the FA Cup.
Went to Dubai.
And then we went on a great run after that. We need a repeat. But I think this year, that spark has to be created by going out there and bringing in at least one. And I think it needs to be more than one exciting signing before the end of this January transfer window, and as soon as possible.
It's a tougher task than what we saw last season. Last season, we didn't have this many injuries and this many key players.
And we got a lot of injuries. We do have a lot of injuries, but...
It's not an excuse, but it's also...
Let me tell you something, right? Fans don't want to hear that.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It's not an excuse, but they are key players, and it's different to last season.
The Saka one's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. But we've got a chance to address it. We're not going to get another Saka in. but go and make a couple of signings that just brings a bit of excitement back.
Well, that's it. Thank you, Rob, for your player ratings. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This week's going to be it could end the whole season. I mean, there's two defeats, make it 3-4 by the end of the week. Oh, I can't even imagine what's going to happen. But let's hope that doesn't happen, a positive change. And let's hope we bring some signings in and we can look to the end of the season with a smile. But right now, it's not looking
Thank
great.
God that game's on Wednesday, actually. You know what I mean? That we ain't got to stew over this all week. We're going to feel it tomorrow. But come Tuesday, they've got to get back on track. They've got to do good. The game's on Wednesday, North London derby. Go and win that. Get everybody back on side.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.